Hello and welcome. I want to talk today about the best day hikes from Olympia. And I am the kind of person that loves to get outside. I love to be in nature. I definitely need to have that time to get outdoors in my week. But I'm not the type of person that necessarily um, likes to drive really far to get to the hike, or I also just like tend to have a lot going on. So I like my day hikes to be kind of efficient. Like I like to get out and be out and have a nice long hike, but I also often struggle with like feeling like I have all this other stuff that I need to do. So if that at all resonates with you, then these suggestions are going to be perfect for you because they don't require a long commute. You can kind of adapt them to be shorter or longer depending on how much time you have. And they're all really close to Olympia, so it's easy to kind of squeeze into a busy day. All right, so thanks for joining me. My name is Linnea. I am the owner and founder of Limber Arts, which is a Pilates and personal training studio here in Olympia, Washington. So I do a lot of in-person classes and instruction here in the studio, and then I also do a lot of online and virtual services as well. And thanks for joining me. And this topic of kind of getting outdoors, being outside, connecting with nature is really important to me. I think it's one of the driving factors that inspires me to want to stay active and stay fit and stay healthy so that I feel good in my body and I feel strong and I feel capable and energized to get outside and really enjoy that time out in nature when I'm able to get out there, right? Because it's not every day that you can get out. Like this happened to me the other day, just this past weekend. It was absolutely terrible weather. Here we are coming into the winter months. It's dark. It gets really dark really early. The weather is unpredictable, and sometimes it's just absolutely spitting rain, which was exactly what happened this weekend. So it was pouring rain. It was just that kind of weather where you're like, I don't feel like going outside, right? And so I came into the studio and I did a great workout. I felt really good after it. It was really efficient, and it prepared me to be able to go outside when the weather's good or when I'm up to it and when I have the time, and just really be able to hit the trails, be able to do harder hikes, whatever the adventure might be, right? You're going to feel ready for it. Okay, so on with the show. Let's talk about day hikes around Olympia. Okay, so I've got actually quite a few suggestions for you guys that are really close into town. Like you don't even need a car, you don't have to commute. Even if you have a car, maybe you don't really want to get back in it, on your weekend or whatever the case it may be. So, yeah, I have 3 hikes for you guys that are kind of close into town, and then one that's a little bit of a drive. And I was reflecting on this and I was like, I know everyone always recommends the same hikes. And I think my list that I have for you guys is actually a very personal list. Like these are actually the hikes that I most enjoy, and they've actually taken me years of living in Olympia to kind of fine tune these specific routes. So that's what I'm excited to share with you today. Okay, so the first one is Squakson Park, right? And most of you guys will know Squakson Park, right? Previously known as Priest Point Park. It's just right on the east side of Olympia. But I've been going there for years, and it was really recently that I actually discovered that you can go on a pretty long hike. Okay, so here's my suggestion for how to actually go on a significant day hike in Squakson Park. So you're driving out East Bay Drive and you're going to pass the main entrance, go under the bridge, and park in the parking lot to your left. Okay, so you're going to be parking on kind of the furthest north side of the park. And then from there, you're going to walk down into the park. There's lots of little loops. You can go down to the beach if you want to. So you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit here because there's not like names of the trails, or I don't have them memorized at least. But you're looking for the trail. It's a pretty small trail, but it's gonna come out onto East Bay Drive, and then you cross over the road and it takes you to the other side of the park that is up. I'm getting something in my eye. It takes you to the other side of the park that goes up and around. So you're gonna cross, and then there's lots of trails that go all the way around through there. And then from there, you can go back across the street, back across East Bay Drive, and back through the water. And if you do like the full loop all the way around the park, I feel like it's maybe like 5 miles or something. Like it's a good hike. It's not just a little stroll. Like you really get a good hike out of it. So I love that one. It's an easy bike ride. It's probably almost on the bus line, easy to get to, right? Okay, so that's my first one for you guys. My second suggestion in terms of great day hikes close to Olympia is actually the Garfield Nature Trail. So this one is on the west side of Olympia, and you probably would want to start, I mean, there's parking all over, but basically if you're thinking of starting mostly from like the West Side Co-op, right? The food co-op there. And you're gonna walk down the Garfield Nature Trail. And when you get to the very end, you can cross West Bay Drive and go to the Rotary Park that's there, which is a really beautiful waterfront park. It's really sweet. It's a great spot for a picnic in the summertime. It's lovely there. But then here's the other little trick that you can use to make this a little bit longer and more adventuresome of a hike. So if you kind of go from Rotary Park and head towards the bridge, okay, you're gonna kind of have to like walk through a grass field, and you'll see a chain link fence. And if you go, like, it's like halfway chain link fence and halfway open, right? But you can actually go and walk along the railroad tracks right there. And there's like a well-established trail that goes right along the railroad tracks. And I was actually talking recently to a few friends about this trail, and somebody was a little worried about it. They were like, I'm not sure if that's like really the best place to go. Maybe it's not super safe. Like, who knows the kind of people that are down there. And so I'll just let you know, I have walked on that trail many, many times, and it never feels sketchy to me. There might have been like a period, maybe like 4 years ago, when that wasn't true, but currently, right now, it feels very safe to me personally, and it's just this little strip, right, that is the railroad. So there's not like a whole lot of land right there for like sketchiness to happen. So if you're worried about that, I wouldn't worry too bad. I would go check it out for yourself before you rule it out. Okay, so here's where you can choose how adventuresome you really get, right? So you could just kind of walk along the railroad tracks. It's a beautiful, right on the water. It's a great spot to take your dogs. It's a great spot to go with friends for a picnic. Like, the view is just beautiful. And usually I'll go to there and then I'll like turn around and just reverse that whole pathway. But if you really are adventuresome, you could keep going and actually walk on the railroad tracks across this little like bridge. And you could even take it under the 4th Ave bridge and go all the way around the lake, right? So here again, you could like connect it into Capitol Lake, walk all the way around the lake. You could even head down towards like Tumwater Falls, basically. Like, it all connects right there. So you could go all the way from the west side of Olympia and go for like a pretty long extended hike, like not just a little city stroll, but you could really take a pretty good long hike and go for as long as you really wanted to go with that. Cool. Okay. I'm not even done. My third one that's right in town, that's pretty close to Olympia, is Kaiser Woods. Okay. This is also on the west side of Olympia, but a little bit more south. So if you head out on Black Lake Boulevard past the freeway, so you're going to go past Trader Joe's, like past all of that commercial zone, and you go, and it's maybe like 2 or 3 miles or something after you cross the freeway. It's very unassuming. Like, you really have to just kind of keep your eye out and pull up a map on your phone, because there's no big sign. You're just gonna feel like you're parking in like a random dirt like pullout, okay? But you're gonna pass, there's like a big church on the right-hand side, and then there's this like little dirt parking lot, and it actually connects to like this huge big zone of woods that is totally a public park. I think maybe officially some of it might be like belong to a logging company, but they've turned it in. This is amazing for mountain biking, by the way. So it's great for walking, but it's also great for mountain biking if you're a mountain biker. There's like a ton of dedicated mountain bike trails. Anyway, check that one out. Again, you could go for a kind of short walk, but you can actually take a pretty good, decent long hike back there as well. And then my fourth suggestion for you guys, this one definitely requires getting out of town, packing some snacks. Like this is a much longer of a hike. But what's fun about this one is that you can tag team it with checking out the High Steel Bridge. So I've only actually been to the High Steel Bridge like once before, but it is a cool thing to go look at. But it's a little tricky because it's like you kind of just go drive across this crazy bridge, or stop before you drive across if you're afraid of heights, and just kind of check it out because it's very breathtaking. But just like in and of itself, it's a little bit like you kind of want to have something else to do after you go look at this bridge. And so if you tag team that with the lower South Fork of the Skykomish Trail, it's like right on the way. So you would go to the High Steel Bridge, and then you would just keep going and go to the lower South Fork of the Skykomish. And that is this beautiful trail. It goes all along the river. There's like lots of old growth trees. You're pretty much in the forest the whole time, so it's not a ton of elevation gain or anything like that, which also means it's really nice in the winter because we're coming into the winter right now. So part of the trick is finding places where you can go hike that you're not going to get stuck in the snow, or you don't need snowshoes. I mean, like maybe you want to do that, but then also if you don't want to have to like prepare extra and you want to just go out for a quick hike, then this is a great one for you. You can also make it really long. It's just kind of like an out and back trail all along the river. So you can choose, I think if you go all the way out, it's like 9 miles, right? So it's like a pretty long trail if you go all the way out, but you just decide how long you want to go out for, and then you just turn around. Okay, there you have it, my friends. Those are my ideas for you for some amazing special hikes that are right around the Olympia area. They're my personal favorites, so this is like some of the other ones that people suggest a lot, I actually don't love. So this is really my personal list of my favorite hikes that I go on quite frequently. And let me know if you've done these before. Let me know if you're going to now based on these recommendations. I'm curious to hear what you think, what your opinion is about the best day hikes from Olympia, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.